Oh, okay. Gotta tell you, this is an update. It started this past weekend, Friday, when I got a email from Kickstarter. But I'll tell you about that on another time, because I will make this really long. But it was crazy town around here yesterday, because I'm trying to be present with the Kickstarter, because that's a full-time job, of trying to raise the funds and trying to stay present with my job that pays the bills, and trying to be present with my children, my grandchildren, and friends, and then, and my podcast, trying to make sure that I was doing it, because I had one that I really wanted to do, was supposed to get it out last month, June, for Pride Month, and I totally missed it because I was so consumed with getting the Kickstarter crowdfunding going. And so it was just crazy. So yesterday I was like, okay, I need to get this podcast done. And while I do the script and the editing and the posting and all of that, I do it all. And so I was almost finished with it. And yesterday, I'm putting the finishing touches on the podcast, because I'm like 7 days late. It was supposed to have been out, last month. And my granddaughter called, and my spirit self said, don't answer that, stay focused. But I was like, okay, there might be something going on, so I'll just answer it real quick. And she got to talking about a dog, and during the process, I locked the keyboard on my laptop, on the computer, so that I wouldn't make any mistakes while I was talking to her. I wanted to stay focused. So I was like, okay, let me see what she wants. And long story short, I finally said to her, she just wanted to talk about the new dog that she got. And then we got into this conversation about why dogs can't eat cat food and cats can't eat dog food. Why can't they eat the same food? It was crazy. So I said, okay, I got to go so I can get finished with this editing. And she said, you still doing that? And I was like, it takes time to edit. I can't just get this done in a short period of time. So I said, I got to go. Well, in the whole process of me doing that, I forgot what the heck I had done. And I forgot that I had turned the keyboard off. But when she had called, I was changing the file name of the audio file name. And when you change the audio file name, you have to also change the data file name as well to match. Well, I got distracted with her in the conversation, forgot that I hadn't done it. And I forgot that the keyboard was locked. So I'm trying to do this certain thing on the editing part of it, and it wouldn't work. And I said, what the hell is going on? I don't. So I was panicked. And so, of course, my fix for everything is to just turn it off. Well, I saved it, and I knew that I saved it. And then I was like, I'll just close the program, and it showed that I saved it. I'll close the program, and then I'll open back up. Maybe it glitched. When I opened it back up, it couldn't find the files. And I freaked. I literally freaked. So for 5 minutes, I kept trying to get the files to recover the files or whatever. And it kept saying, and I'm seeing the files that they were there and it was saved. And it kept saying, we can't open the file. Something went wrong. And I was like, no. And I'm freaking out for 5 minutes. And the only thing I called my granddaughter and I said, you made me forget, mess up my file. And she said, how's that my fault? I said, because I got distracted by you. And the whole time I'm still trying to find these files. And I'm just going to be honest, when I say the F-bomb was everywhere, I was it was crazy because I needed to get all this stuff done. And so I finally says, I'm just going to hang up. And so I hung up the phone I wasn't going off on her. She was just hearing my frustration. And so when I couldn't get it done after a half hour, I said, just screw it. I'm going to go work out. Well, while I was going to change my clothes and the workout clothes and everything, I'm still F-bombing for another 5 minutes. I'm shouting out loud around the house. And I couldn't believe that I had lost that data. But then I worked out. And while I was working out, I asked my angels, I said, please grab my feet. Please grab my feet, ground me. And so when I finally finished, I took a shower and I came back and I was like, okay, I got to sit down and figure this out. And I went back over what I had done. And I realized that I had, at that time, locked the keyboard. So maybe that's the case. So I, unlocked the keyboard and everything, and that still didn't pull it up. So I was like, oh my God. So YouTube is my friend. And I went on YouTube and I looked up, when you can't pull up the file that you saved. And 3 seconds into the man explaining it wasn't no more than a minute. When the man was explaining it as to what would happen, I realized that I had forgotten to change the data file name to match the audio file name. And once I finished that, all was well. I recovered all of my files. So that was an interesting day yesterday. So I always tell you guys, and I'll say it again, miracles are found in the light. Light and strength are one. It was when I stopped acting a clown and got into the light, calmed myself, decided to just ground and get connected again, that I was able to backtrack and feel and come to a resolve. So stay in the light. Remember, those miracles happen when you're in the light. So some might say, well, that wasn't a miracle. Yeah, it was. If you know me, okay? Ashe.